that's out in theaters, directed by Edgar Wright, and it is called The Sparks Brothers.
Nice.
And it is a movie about a band that I was not familiar with called Sparks. Apparently, they are a legendary underground band that has influenced a lot of musicians, but they never really had any sort of mainstream success. This has been a passion project of Edgar Wright's for a while. He is in the movie. He talks about his fandom a little bit, but mostly it's a portrait of the two brothers who are at the core of the band, Ron and Russel Mael, who are now, I assume, in their 70s. They started way back in the 60s, and the movie is cinematically pretty innovative. It does some stop motion animation, does a lot of stuff with some sound. You would expect those sort of things out of a Edgar Wright production. There's a pretty impressive array of people who are in the interviewed in the movie, and not just musicians, but people like Mike Myers and Fred Armisen and Patton Oswalt. I think the flaw of the movie is that, okay, this band, they've been making albums for 50 years. There's a reason why they didn't make it big, and I hate to say it, but it's because their music isn't all that good. I wasn't a fan of the band going into the movie. I'd never heard of them, and listening to their music, I'm kind of like, it's not really that great. They claim they boast of having like 500 songs. Yeah, I could see it. When your songs sound like they take about 2 minutes to write, you could probably have a lot of songs, and especially when a lot of their records are kind of self-produced, because every producer basically wanted to drop them. Still, it's kind of interesting nonetheless. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is about 50 minutes more than I would have liked to have seen of this movie. I give it 2.5 stars. If you like music, if you like documentaries about weird, strange people, I was hoping this movie would have a little bit more of like a Crumb aspect to it, where they're a little more critical of the music, because by the end, it just becomes one massive, basically hand job to this band. And, they're cool, but they're not that great. So 2.5 stars. If you like the band, if you like Edgar Wright, check it out. Otherwise, whatever.
They weren't worshiping the band, though. It's not about how good the band is. It's about how weird they are, and that's why Edgar Wright's making the movie and not some lame HBO documentarian. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it 3 stars.
You didn't think that by the end it just became masturbation. You didn't think it was like, oh, they're just so great, and Russell and Ron, and all they ever want is just to be authentic musicians, and they're so good at what they do. Like, come on, be like Crumb. Have some critical aspect of it.
The aura of them being weird.
Don't you agree their music kind of sucks?
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to it, but that's not what.
They had one good song. Do you know what their one good song was? Was a song called "When Do I Get to Sing My Way?" And when they say "My Way," they're talking about like the Frank Sinatra, Sid Vicious song. And that, in a way, kind of underscores how pretentious they are. When do we get to sing "My Way"? Like when Sid Vicious did a cover of it. Like, you're not that good, dude. But it is a good song. I do have to admit, I played it on my Spotify, and the balls and the little Mozart, that shit was terrible. It was just like a rip off of Weird Al. I hate to say it, but I did like their cinematic influences. The big Bergman fans.
Yeah.
All right. There we go.